What's up, y'all? It's JP1, aka Jackpot the Chosen One. I'm live at Will Potter Studio. Me and B Hughes out here shooting a video for King Me off of Fire Brimstone 3. It's the third part of the trilogy, the closing. It's bittersweet. It's been a lot of work. Fire Brimstone 1. I didn't quite know what I wanted to do with it. I was just winging it, basically. I mean, I had a plan, but I was like, you know, if they take to it, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I set out to be original, to do something that Detroit really ain't seen. And I hadn't seen anybody do a trilogy. We started shooting videos, and we shot the Win or Lose video, and it came out so dope that I was like, well, we need to make this a part of the trilogy too. So World Star, it had great reviews, and a lot of times you don't get that on World Star. You know, everybody just trying to throw shit under the mud. And what ended up happening was the reception was so great that when I sat down to make Fire Brimstone 2, I had a little pressure. And so some people, they fold under pressure, but me, I reached out to Black Milk, Elzai, Guilty Simpson, Jovi, other great lyricists in and around Detroit that I felt like could add some flavor to the CD and that could push me to the limit that I felt like I need to be pushed to. And that's what they did. And so when we did Fire Brimstone 2, the reception was way better than any album I ever dropped. And the first single, Living Life, it featured me on tour. I went on the road with Big Hef Industry Tour all across the Midwest, and it was my first time on tour. But it was an experience, and I learned from that I could do the same thing. And no offense to Big Hef, but I went on my own tour. And that's what we did for Fire Brimstone 2. I went on tour with Pierre Anthony and Nep Jennings, and we went Midwest and to New York, and the reception was like the greatest thing ever. And I learned so much on the road that I felt like that's where I needed to be at. So what I did was I geared up for another Fire Brimstone tour, and I did bigger shows in Detroit. I performed at Shane Park on my birthday, October 3rd. I opened up for Boosie, Plies, and Twister. And the reception then, it was like one of my biggest performances to date. It was in front of a few thousand people. And the reception was so great that I understood that I was doing something bigger than just rapping. And I sat down and finished Fire Brimstone 3. And I decided to go at it with no features because it felt like the features weren't pushing the album the way I was pushing the album. Not Jovi and, you know, the other guys that I was cool with, Pierre Anthony and Chill, but the bigger names that were on the album, they didn't post it, they didn't repost anything, retweet anything. So I understood that if I'm gonna do all this myself, I might as well sit down and make an album all by myself, like Jay-Z did with The Blueprint, or like J. Cole just did with his latest album. And that's what I did. I made a whole album with no rap features. Shout out to Most Wanted, She on the Song, Everything You Read. And then I sat down with Real Fresh and we did You Never Understand. And then the song I did with Kid the Producer, we ended up getting DJ Los to do scratches, so he featured on there. So that's all I got. I got 2 vocalists and the DJ featured on the album. It's all me. Every verse is all me. Sometimes it don't sound like me, but that's a good thing, but it's all me. Every single verse you hear on there is all JP1. And it was hard work, but it's the best image of myself because I'm not, like, you know, when I did a song with Bodie James, I kind of knew what I wanted Bodie James to do, you know, and I knew the kind of flavor I wanted from Bodie James on Fire Brimstone. And I knew what I wanted to do with Guilty Simpson and Elzai and Black Milk. I kind of knew what I wanted them to do. And I just sent them the track, like, just do your thing and I'm going to just build around you, because I wanted they flavor on the album. But this time it was all my flavor, everything. I helped write, even the singing parts, I helped write the hooks and everything. It's all me. And I just can't wait for the world to hear it. And that's all we doing, man. And it's gonna be bigger and better. Everything is loaded up, everything ready to go, ready for release on December 14th. And we doing a release party December 11th at Hazel's Place. Shout out to everybody who rocking with me. Shout out to everybody who contributed to the whole trilogy from 1, 2, and 3, and we still winning.
All I needed was a minute or 2 to find my bearing. The return of the microphone fiend I ain't sharing. These old things still ain't touched the clearance. I